This is how to cook a steak at home with a cast iron pan. I know there's 1,000 different ways to cook a steak. People talk about reverse sear, people talk about grill, people talk about pan roast. It's like, in a perfect world, a perfect steak is like golden brown, dark brown color on the top and bottom, and then the same cuisson of cooking from the top of the meat to the bottom of the meat all the way through. I'm gonna season the steak with salt and pepper. This is a dried strip loin, coarse black pepper. Even though this is a small steak, like it can take quite a bit of seasoning. A lot of the salt is gonna fall off in the pan, you know, just season it. Like, don't be afraid to season it. Use like a neutral oil, don't use olive oil, because it has a really low smoking point, and then the fruity flavor of the olives kind of dies, it gets bitter. Probably use something like canola oil, rapeseed oil, vegetable oil, something like that. High heat, you want the pan to be pretty smoky, especially for a small steak like this. It's not that thick, you need heat. I always say, if I don't set the fire alarm off while I'm cooking at home, I'm not doing it right. A little oil. Okay, watch. Oh yeah, she's gonna go off. Cast iron pans are nice because they hold heat really well, and they have a nice sort of distribution of heat even on the bottom of the pan. If you use a really light pan, chances are the steak's not gonna color that evenly. When you put the steak into the pan, it'll drop the temperature more because there's not much material there to stay hot. But if you have a good, like, heavy cast iron pan, then it holds the heat, right? So I just press it down a little bit, make sure I got nice, even color everywhere, you know? Probably like a minute, realistically, because that's that hot. Look at that. Now this piece of strip loin had a bit of fat on the top of it. Right here, it had a bit of a fat cap. So I'm just gonna turn it on there and roast that a little bit, get that a little bit golden brown. Don't blast it either. Like, you don't need to cook it too long, too hard. Okay, butter. Now, butter is great. It has this beautiful, like, flavor, gets golden brown, all the milk solids in the butter start to caramelize. You can baste the steak in it, it helps color it evenly all the way around when you splash over the top of it, see? Okay, but what will happen with the butter is it'll get too dark, too quick, and then it starts to burn, and if that happens, it's fine, just put another little bit of butter. It'll cool the butter down enough that it won't burn. So you kind of use the butter to gauge the temperature of the pan. But that's a thin steak, so really, that's probably done. Put a little butter on top and just let it rest with the butter. It's been maybe about 5 minutes, 6 minutes now. It's been resting. It should be fine. It's a thin steak. And that's how you cook a steak.